Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name's Chris Register, and I wanted to make this video to introduce you guys a book I'm releasing here the fourth quarter this year. It's called I'm Thinking About Getting into Real Estate. This book is pretty much 12 years of my life, all compiled into it. I try to not go too heavy in too much detail and make it an easy read, because I know a lot of people probably don't like reading, and I was one of those people, but now I'm pretty much, I did what, read 7 books last year, and then I'm looking to at least do that, maybe a little bit more this year. But these things have been kind of my goals and stuff, have been kind of taking a little bit away from my readings. But this book is going to be very, very helpful for that new licensee. Even an agent that's actually been in the business for a little bit and maybe they're having a little bit of trouble trying to figure it out and trying to get going. I'll probably shine some light on a lot of things and kind of give you my perspective and the direction I went and what worked for me. I did it for about, I'm still in the business. I've just been kind of pulling back a little bit because I've been working on some other goals. But, I did it for 12 years. I started when I was, 22, I think, 22, 23. And I started at the bottom. I was working at Home Depot. I had to step away from that job to actually go full-time commission. I had some bills, I had things that were due. And my first year, I only sold one house. I sold one house, and I think about $4,000. And I had a Ford Explorer payment at that time, so that was like $562 a month. So obviously, you can do the math there. I didn't really have a lot of money at that time, and I didn't have enough to probably get me through, but I hung in the pocket. I was doing rentals, I was doing whatever it took to get through, and everything worked out. On the back of my business card, if you look, if you ever have one of my business cards, these are my new ones. I thought they were pretty cool. They're like little booklets. And on the back, I have my sales, because I always wanted kind of like a baseball card, so this one's like a hybrid between something like a baseball card I wanted. But my first year, it shows my rookie year. I only made one sale, and then I went up to 2006. I sold about 900,000, then about 1.5, then 1.8, then 2.2, and it just kept climbing. And throughout my career, I'm at 31 million. I looked the other day. I was like, wow, I sold over 30 million. I'm at 31 million right now in total sales. So I thought that was pretty cool, and just did that during a market that was actually declining. So it was really tough. I had to try to generate sales in a market that was crashing. So if you ever seen that movie, The Big Short, I highly recommend anybody that's getting into real estate watch that. It's a really good movie. It's cool. It happened. I was in it. A lot of other realtors were in it too. So we kind of, when we watched that, we're like, wow, yep, we're right in the mix of that stuff. So going back to the book, you're gonna find a lot of stuff from the basics. You're gonna find stuff all the way getting you up to the veteran level. We've handed over at our office the same information, the same stuff that everyone does to 2 agents, let's say. Why one agent is successful and why one is not, it's in this book. The short answer is you got to work on yourself. You got to work on yourself. There's certain things you need to pick up, certain traits, personality characteristics that will help you become better in the business. But besides just being better in the business, it's going to help you. It's going to make you better in life. You're going to be you'll be a great person to be around. You're going to attract a lot of stuff, and that's how you get business. You're going to attract a lot of business because of that impact you're having on other people. So that's pretty much what you're going to find in this book. You're going to find everything. Everything that's in here, I have done. I live by. I'm doing it today. Now that I've gotten older, I'm 34, and I look back, I can say, wow, that's what I was doing, and all this stuff actually worked. My sales were good. I got the proof that does it, that can show you that it does work. And it was very helpful. And the book's going to be probably only like $15. And I'll tell you what, the more I'm big on learning and investing in yourself. And the more, if you spend $15, you're going to get much more out of it. As long as you use the information, you don't just say, oh, I read that book and then just, that's it. You got to use stuff. I think that's where people mess up a little bit. When you read things and when you invest in things, you got to actually use it. You got to take action. And you're going to find a lot about that stuff in here in this book. But it's the best $15 you'll probably, for real estate, you'll get a lot out of it. You'll definitely make your money back and then some just from investing the $15. There's no reason why you shouldn't be making 6 figures a year after doing this. Now, is it going to take you a year to make 6 figures? It'll probably take you a little bit longer. I'm going to be honest. It's going to take you longer than that. It took me a couple years. The market's different now. That kind of does play a role. But it's really you. It's you. Whether the market's good, I don't care what business you're in. It's all you. If you want to make things happen, you can make things happen. If you don't, and you think that it's some external forces causing you not to be successful, I think I think you need to change your belief. I mean, because it's all you. It's about what you put in. So this book is going to be really cool. It's going to be on Kindle. It'll be on Amazon. I actually signed up for it to go in the bookstores, so if it makes it there, that's kind of cool too. You can actually see a hard copy on a shelf. But also on my website, ChristopherRegister.com, you'll find it there. It'll link you over to probably Amazon. But that website, ChristopherRegister.com, you can go on there now. You don't even have to be into real estate. You don't have to be somebody that's either getting into real estate or know somebody that is. But you can actually go on that website and get some good information, because I love sharing information that works for me and stuff that I'm like, oh wow, this is cool. This is a cool perspective on life. And if you click on, well, before I talk about the 4 pillars, if you click on the motivation tab on my website, I got some motivational videos that I actually listen to. I've listened to all those. I probably have listened to those and watched those probably, geez, I think that number 2 video on there has Arnold Schwarzenegger on there. I'm at maybe 400 times. I'm insane sometimes with my stuff. But when I wake up in the morning, that's what I go to. Whenever I'm depressed and I'm down, that's what I go to. That stuff pulls me out, man. That gets my brain back on, hey, what are you doing? You shouldn't be thinking that way. So I'm letting you guys know that stuff's out there, and that's this stuff that I have used and it works for me, and I want it to work for you guys. So I'm going to tell you, hey, it works. It works for me. It worked for me. It'll work for you. You just got to keep on doing it. You got to keep pumping yourself with the good stuff. And besides the motivation tab, you'll see the 70 steps to success. That's being completed here shortly. I'm not finished with it. I just ordered a really cool camera. So I got a better camera than what I'm doing. I'm actually using my iPhone right now. The camera I'm getting is going to be really cool for that program. And what that is that's a mentor real estate training program. And it's going to be like me talking to you like this, and you're going to get the real me, and it's going to be just no different than me sitting down with some of the other guys I mentor and talk to them. So I think that's going to be really cool. That'll be really helpful to help some agents, and I can actually reach out to more than just in Brevard County. I can reach out to people all over the U.S. and kind of teach them what I was actually doing at a very affordable price. So that'll be a cool little program if you're interested in learning how I did it and taking some notes from me. That'll be pretty impactful. Also on there, you will see the 4 pillars, and the 4 pillars is free. It's just I'm adding more to it, but the 4 pillars is just my perspective on life and how I see life and how I operate and kind of how I do things. And it's worked for me. And the reason why I put it on there is because I want people to see this is what's good. You got to keep an open mind, because you can't be like, oh, I disagree with what Chris says. That's fine. You don't have to agree with me. I know everyone. I always tell everybody, every YouTube video will eventually have a thumbs down, always. So you're not going to get everyone to think like you. But what I'm trying to do is just if you have an open mind, I'll get your brain thinking is what I'm doing. I'm going to get your brain thinking and be like, wow, that is actually a different way to look at things. And a lot of you might be like, wow, that's really cool. I should look at that. So a quick rundown of the 4 pillars. I go over 4 areas of life: health, wealth, love, and fulfillment, or happiness. And those 4 categories is really your core of your life. Like, those are the things you need to look at and say, you know what? And grade yourself from 1 to 10. Say, what is my health? 1 to 10. What is my wealth? 1 to 10. What is my love? 1 to 10. And what's my fulfillment in life? 1 to 10. And then add those up and then divide it by 4. And that'll tell you what kind of life you're living. It'll tell you if you're living an average life or if something that you need to work on. It also shows you which areas to work on. So if you're like, hey, my love pillar is a 0. I barely have any love in my life. Well, how's your health and your wealth? Is it pretty strong? If it is, then that's not bad. You're good. Obviously that's where you're probably lacking that full satisfaction of life. So that's what that 4 pillars is about. It's my perspective on life, and I'll tell you what, it's been working for me, and everything's been pretty good. I've came a long ways, and I'll tell you what, it works. It works, and it's a good way to look at life is kind of what I'm trying to get at. It's just a good perspective to kind of say, step back and look at your life and say, wow, I didn't even think about that, and I need to take some action. I need to start working on those areas. I promise you'll get more satisfaction in life. You'll feel better about yourself, and and I'm giving you kind of a direction. You can work on those pillars, build yourself up. That's I've seen it so many times where somebody's I've heard it a lot where somebody's like, their wealth pillar is like a 10 and they're a billionaire. And Tony Robbins actually interviewed a guy, and the guy came to him. He's like, I'm depressed. And the guy's like, well, you're like a billionaire. What are you depressed about? I mean, you got your health right now. You're good. he probably lacked in that love pillar. I mean, he probably didn't have anything like that. So he was never satisfied. He wasn't he wasn't living a fulfilling life. And that's the stuff I'm talking about. It's really cool. It's very impactful. It's very powerful. You got to go on there and check it out. So other than that, thank you very much for watching the video, and it'll be released the fourth quarter of this year. I'm thinking about getting into real estate. It's great for the new licensee. It's great for an agent that actually is probably struggling a little bit. You can pick my brain. You get to walk through my brain, Chris Register's brain, and say, how did this guy do it? This is how I did it. I'm not the #1 agent in town. I didn't want to be that. I just wanted to be successful. I did all those sales. I generated all those sales myself. You'll also see on here, which I learned this, and a lot of people know me for this, is they know I know how to flip a lot of houses. Oops, excuse me. And I got some tips in there on flipping houses, which is cool. I've been involved in over 200 houses now. Excuse me. Been involved in over 200 houses by now, and it's been good. We were very successful, and investors and myself, we all all did well. So check out my book when it comes out. I'll give you guys all the heads up when it does. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and check out ChristopherRegister.com. You might find some cool stuff on there to kind of help you out. Thank you.